Hey guys, you won't believe this. We have another person involved in the land development scandal connected to one of the candidates for president of South Korea right now, found dead in an apparent self-offing. And this is raising further questions of what the heck is going on here. So we're going to go into this, and in particular, it just brings up the question, well, is this how, hypothetically, you kind of can get away with stealing some money while you're in office? We'll go over all of the details on how you might go about it. Alright, so speaking of passing away, this was also an unexpected development. You know, if you've been following the artist community, the coat artist community in Insadong, how all of the thugs were attacking, well, get this, you know that landlord that was 90 years old? He passed away earlier this week. Yeah, so that is kind of like an unexpected whoa in this case. So we don't know exactly what the impact of that would be, but essentially that does make it, I believe, a bit tougher for the thug side, because it brings the question of like who inherits it, and inheritance taxes are huge. They're like 50% in Korea, so it makes it a little bit tougher for that side, but who knows how that's gonna work out. But that was interesting. It's interesting how he passed away. Anyhow, so speaking of this latest scandal, so right now we have just the past day, the second person involved who is being questioned. It's not just a rando. It's essentially a person that has key information in this case who supposedly offed himself. And the first person who supposedly offed himself was on December 10th. Now, in this kind of situation, it's so complex, and you're just like, oh my god, like, how does this work out? And the man in question, the implication that all of these news outlets are talking about are, does this connect to the top guy, which is essentially the liberal candidate front runner for the South Korean president? Does he have something to do with it? Because all of this happened while he was the mayor of Seongnam. So was he calling all the shots, and are all of these people disappearing because of him? Was this corruption all done 5 years ago because of him, and are all these people going away because of him? Of course, he denies it. So now we're going to just pretend that this has nothing to do with him, and we're just going to make sense of this, because if you're reading about this, you can kind of get lost in all of the people and all of the corporations, and like, how does this money flow? Well, we're going to show you. I mean, after this news goes away, you probably want to know how, if you're a politician, in 5 easy steps, how you can steal millions and get away with it while you're a politician. So number 1, you control the careers of those who choose the heads of a development project, usually a construction project. So you go into office and you say, we're going to build this fabulous new building or neighborhood. We're going to develop something that costs a lot of money. And the government sets up an organization that's the city side, but it has to partner with a corporate side. So you, as the head politician, so you have to basically be the head honcho. Like if it's a city, you're the mayor. If it's a state, you're the governor. You're the head honcho. And basically to get away with it, you're not going to be in charge of it, but you're basically going to be in charge of the careers. And so the organization that oversees it on the government side, you kind of basically can control their careers, but you're not directly involved. So you control the heads of that organization. Now that organization is in charge of like, all right, so we're going to partner with a construction company and we have to partner with like a finance company. So, you know, we got to get some money like a bank, and we got to partner with like a construction company to build it. Well, you get some that are friendly to you, that's going to do what you say, that's going to basically be in cahoots with you. And then when, you know, you get into the room, you can kind of tuck away all the money to the places that you want to do it. Now, usually some of the well-known names with a lot of good governance aren't going to do this stuff. And so, probably in cases like this, you're like, what? We have never, ever heard of that finance company. Wait, what? That finance company just barely started like 5 seconds ago and they won the bid? Okay, I guess. And that construction company? Okay, I guess. So you get the friendly finance company and the construction company. Now, of course, there are rules and laws written in to protect the government, to make sure that the taxpayers are still protected. And that's what was here in this case, so that the city could get its fair share. You know, the government's going to say like, yeah, we're going to build this, and the government is also going to get its fair share of some of the profits. Make sure that the developers also make some money. The bank also makes some money, but they're not going to get all the money. However, if you change the law a little bit, you take that part out, they can get away with getting all of the money. So let's say you're sort of like not really doing it as the mayor. No, I didn't. You know, if I'm the mayor, I never said anything. I'm not the one, but you really are. Saying like, all right, through layers and layers and layers and layers and layers of people, you're basically, that's what he's being accused of, ordering somebody, and in this case, the people who are now gone, to basically bribe them to look over the contract and say like, hey dude, it's just one line. Just take out the part that says there's a limit to how much the construction partner and the banks can make. Just take that one line out. And this was like 5 years ago, right? So it's probably just like, I mean, it's just like a big old contract, and all it is just probably like one sentence or something. And then it's just like, hey, dude, you know, just like erase that part. And then, hey, no one's going to find out. And so apparently that's what happened. And that was the critical step in order for all of this to happen. If that wasn't there, then none of this corruption can happen, because none of that money could then be released to then go out in terms of this whole corruption thing, because the money would have just gone, you know, to the city, and that would have been it. But since that critical move was made, they deleted it. So then now basically the city got like kind of no profits, and then all the money went to the finance company and then the construction company. They were able to start playing with who got the money and like which accounts it went into and how it was distributed. So then how does it get distributed? Well, that is the creative part. There are probably tons of ways that it was, but they found one strange way. And I think it was either the finance company or the construction company, you hire, here again, the kids of some politicians. Like whoever you want to bribe now, you hire their kids. And you let them work there for like maybe 1 or 2 years, and you're just like, they barely work, they don't know what they're doing. And then you're like, okay, you can now leave the company, and we're going to give you a great severance package. And usually severance packages, I don't know, they're basically like a few $1,000s. But this one kid got $5 million for their severance package, which is like unheard heard of for some like 20-something-year-old kid who barely worked there for a few years, got like some $5 million severance package. And so they're all saying like, yup, that didn't go to the kid, right? Probably went to his daddy, and the daddy had to split it with some other people or something like that. And so that is one way where now like that the profits have been taken out of this development project, money that probably should have been shared with the city now is basically now being shared amongst whoever. And so the head honcho is totally denying it, saying like, I had no idea. I didn't even know who was on this committee. You know, I just said like, hey, we're just gonna make a development project and improve people's lives in this city and, you know, give them nice apartments to live in. That's what he's saying. And then the fifth step, well, like we see now, the person who erased it and then another person who was involved in the corrupt choosing of these partners, well, this month, they both off themselves. And those are the 5 easy steps on how, theoretically and hypothetically, you may be able to abscond with millions. I don't know. If you apply this big enough, billions of dollars while in office as a politician. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe you want to try this. Don't try this at home, kids. But, oh my goodness. I mean, how can 2 people in 1 month, and we have a few months to go until the presidential election? I mean, this is crazy, guys. This is just nuts. All right, I just thought we had to give you that update. We'll see you again next time. Bye-bye.
Tune in next time. Don't forget to subscribe. Find us on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Love you.